Imagine being locked in a prison camp during one of the most dangerous periods in history, surrounded by armed guards, barbed wire, and watchtowers. For most, escape would seem like an impossible dream. But for Roger Bushell and his fellow prisoners, it was an obsession. What followed was one of the most daring and ambitious escape attempts in history, the Great Escape. This is the story of bravery, ingenuity, and sacrifice. It is a story of men who risked everything to defy their captors and send a message to the world. How did they manage to keep their escape plans hidden? What challenges did they overcome? And what price did they pay for freedom? Before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more unforgettable and thrilling crime stories. Let's dive into this gripping tale of courage. Roger Bushell was born in South Africa to an English family and grew up with a sense of adventure and resilience. By the time World War II began, he had risen to the rank of squadron leader in the Royal Air Force. Bushell's early missions were dangerous, and during one of them, his plane was shot down over German-occupied territory. Captured by the Nazis, Bushell became a prisoner of war. For many, this would have been the end of the fight, but not for Bushell. He saw captivity as a temporary obstacle and quickly became known for his determination to escape. His strong personality and leadership skills earned him the respect of his fellow prisoners, and he soon began organizing escape attempts in every camp he was sent to. The Nazis were aware of Bushell's reputation as an escape artist. After several failed attempts to break free from other camps, he was sent to Stalag Luft III, a high-security prison camp located in Sagan. The camp was specifically designed to house captured Allied airmen, many of whom had already attempted escapes from other camps. The Nazis believed that Stalag Luft III was escape-proof. The camp was surrounded by double barbed wire fences, watchtowers, and armed guards. The sandy soil made tunneling difficult because it was prone to collapse, and the bright color of the sand made it easy for guards to spot if it was removed. Additionally, the camp's layout was designed to minimize blind spots, making it harder for prisoners to hide their activities. Despite these challenges, Bushell saw an opportunity. He believed that a large-scale escape could disrupt the German war effort and boost Allied morale. For him, escaping wasn't just about freedom, it was about striking a blow against the Nazis. Bushell's plan was ambitious. Instead of organizing a small escape for a handful of men, he proposed freeing 200 prisoners in a single night. Such a large-scale operation would force the Nazis to divert resources to recapture the escapees, creating chaos and weakening their control. To achieve this, Bushell proposed digging 3 separate tunnels, codenamed Tom, Dick, and Harry. The idea was simple but brilliant. If one tunnel was discovered, the others might still remain hidden. Each tunnel would be over 300 feet long and lead to a point beyond the camp's perimeter. Bushell formed an escape committee and began assigning roles to the prisoners. Some would work on digging the tunnels, while others would focus on forging documents, creating disguises, and planning routes for the escapees once they were outside the camp. Digging the tunnels was a monumental task. The prisoners worked in shifts, using makeshift tools crafted from bed slats, tin cans, and other scavenged materials. They reinforced the walls of the tunnels with wood to prevent collapses and installed ventilation systems made from old materials to ensure a steady supply of fresh air. The entrances to the tunnels were ingeniously hidden. One was concealed beneath a stove, another under a drain, and the third inside a dark corner of the barracks. These disguises allowed the men to work in secrecy, even during frequent inspections by the guards. Disposing of the excavated sand was another major challenge. The prisoners developed a clever system to hide the dirt. They filled small bags with sand and discreetly spread it around the camp during outdoor activities. They also created fake patches of dirt to cover up any evidence of their digging. In addition to digging the tunnels, the prisoners needed fake documents, disguises, and survival plans for their journey after escaping. Artists among the prisoners forged travel papers, while tailors crafted civilian clothing from blankets and old uniforms. One of the most ingenious methods involved creating official-looking stamps out of shoe leather. These stamps were used to add authenticity to the forged documents, making them appear genuine. The prisoners even aged the papers to make them look worn and official. Creating these items required incredible skill and resourcefulness. The prisoners scrounged materials from wherever they could, often at great personal risk. Every detail had to be perfect, as even the smallest mistake could expose the entire operation. Despite their meticulous planning, the prisoners faced numerous setbacks. The first tunnel, Tom, was discovered by the guards and destroyed. The second tunnel, Dick, became unusable when the Nazis began construction near its exit point. This left only Harry, the third tunnel, as their last hope. The discovery of Tom was a significant blow, but the prisoners refused to give up. They doubled their efforts on Harry, knowing that time was running out. By early 1944, the tunnel was nearly complete, and the men began preparing for the escape. On the night of March 24, 1944, the escape began. The prisoners worked in silence, taking turns entering the tunnel and crawling toward freedom. Each carried forged documents, disguises, and supplies for their journey. When the first prisoners emerged from the tunnel, they realized it was shorter than expected. Instead of exiting in the woods as planned, the tunnel opened just 50 yards from the camp, near a guard tower. Despite this setback, the prisoners pressed on, using the cover of darkness to evade detection. Throughout the night, 76 men successfully escaped through the tunnel and scattered into the countryside. They traveled on foot, by train, and even by bicycle, hoping to blend in and reach neutral territory. The escape triggered a massive manhunt. By dawn, the Nazis discovered the tunnel and launched a search for the fugitives. Over the next few days, most of the escapees were recaptured. Only 3 men managed to reach freedom. 2 made it to neutral Sweden and 1 to Spain. Tragically, 50 of the recaptured prisoners, including Roger Bushell, were executed on Hitler's orders. This brutal act violated international laws and shocked the world. The remaining prisoners were returned to the camp under stricter security measures. Although the Great Escape did not achieve its full objective, it had a significant impact. It disrupted the Nazi regime, exposed weaknesses in their system, and demonstrated the resilience of the Allied forces. The story of the escape became a symbol of defiance and inspired countless others during the war and beyond. For Roger Bushell and his fellow escapees, the Great Escape was more than just a bid for freedom. It was a statement of resistance against oppression. Their courage and determination remind us that even in the darkest times, the human spirit can prevail. Imagine trusting the police to protect your savings and valuables, only to find out they're the ones stealing from you. This isn't the plot of a crime novel. It's a true story of greed and betrayal. In Medford, a quiet city in Massachusetts, a group of corrupt police officers pulled off one of the biggest bank robberies in U.S. history, stealing $10 million in cash and valuables. These weren't your usual criminals. They were police officers. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe the channel.